so that means they have won.
So we have one undefeated duelist.
Oh, sorry,
Jeong has 9 points right now, and Satanantana is 2 wins and 1 draw with 7 points. So these are 2 duelists towards the top of the standings. It appears that Satanantana has won the dice roll.
All right, let's go ahead and see what strategy he's doing. It looks like we finally have the red sleeves on the red side, blue sleeves on the blue side.
It's always nice when things match. And Satanantana is going to start things off, revealing it's called Dragon Link.
Yep,
Black Metal Dragon.
We saw this earlier. Poly won with a Dragon Link. We'll have to see if it works out the same here. He's going to link it away into Striker Dragon. That's going to be 2 chain links, so he's going to be able to add a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon from the deck to hand, along with the Boot Sector launch. Striker Dragon, pretty good. Ooh, you see that variant artwork for Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Very beautiful. Now, it doesn't look like he used Striker Dragon to add the Boot Sector, unless I missed it. He might have already have it in hand.
So just chain link 1 here with the Black Metal Dragon. Not the best. You'd like to get that extra card out instead of opening with it. He's going to be able to banish the Striker Dragon for Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon.
This is the exact same way that Poly started his turn 1, but it's going to be a little different.
Special summon Starliege Seifert.
Yep, from the hand, and now he's going to be able to send that Starliege Seifert to add. Let's see what he decides to add. It's going to be a level 8 lighter dark monster. Or no, sorry, it's going to be a level 4
yes.
since he is Synth itself, so it's going to be 4.
So we haven't seen a Chaos space here, so it could be one of the baby Chaos Dragons.
Yep, Starliege Seifert working similar to Chaos Space, just giving you access to one of those baby dragons.
And it's going to be Wyverburster. Black Metal Dragon is banished. Special summon the Wyverburster.
Now he has 2 dragons on the field.
And those 2 are combined once again. For Romulus, we got Romulus first this time. So chain link 1 is Wyverburster, chain link 2 is Romulus. We're going to get the Dragon Ravine first. There it is.
I'm gonna grab that Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. Big fan of Dragon Link. It's just, even though we call it Dragon Link, it's kind of been the same deck. Because, I mean, the Striker Dragon, a lot of the cards it uses are very similar. It always adds new dragons. As more new dragons come out, the deck adapts and changes throughout the years and gets even better.
Every time a new dragon you can special summon is released, all the Dragon Link players of the world rejoice.
They come out of hiding and they're like, it's time to play Dragon Link again. All right, now taking a moment to consider his options.
Taking a look at his graveyard here. Doing some quick math already. Well, it's not damage math. This got to be summon math.
Maybe counting to 5. That's one of your first
counting
numbers.
To 5 is one of the most common pieces of summon math.
I think he is at 5 already here with the Romulus. 5 monsters in the graveyard / banished. I think that's right. And now he's going to activate. Oh, almost looked like he was going to activate Dragon Ravine. Nope, yeah, he indeed does.
You got to be careful because you already have the Boot Sector, right? Because you didn't search it out with Striker Dragon. You're going to go ahead and send Bystial Serenir, send Absorrouter Dragon.
So he's going to be able to send that Branded Speller Trap to the graveyard and add a rocket monster from the deck to the hand. Gonna probably send something like Branded Regained, so maybe he'll be able to get Branded Beast from the deck later on to reactivate. Gonna add Rocket Caliber.
And send Bystial Lubellion.
Oh, because he does have the Seifert in the graveyard, so he'll be able to add that Bystial Lubellion back from the graveyard to the hand.
And there's a world here where there's something, you know, that replaces the Rocket Tracer that you often see with this play, but we'll have to wait and see. It appears that Jeong has called a judge in. We're going to get a quick look at the text of Rocket Caliber.
The big thing is a level 4 tuner.
Yes. The other effects of it don't come up that much. Mainly because the card isn't on the field for particularly long.
Exactly. Gonna banish that Seifert from the graveyard to add back that Bystial Lubellion, so now he'll be able to use that Lubellion to access any Bystial monster from the deck.
And there's Bystial and Magnum. Goes through his graveyard once again. He's not summoned the Collapse Serpent quite yet.
Alright, going to see about what he wants to banish for a Bystial, I believe. Or yeah, or the Collapse Serpent as well. He's a number of monsters that banish from the graveyard to summon from the hand. And here comes the Bystial Magnet targeting Router.
Router banished, Magnet on the field. Magnet effect activates. There is no response, it appears, so during the end phase, Satanantana will be able to add a dragon to his hand.
Gonna tribute that Magnet to special summon back the Bystial Rebellion from the graveyard. Gonna be able to use the effect here to activate a continuous branded spell or trap from the deck. Place it straight up on the field. Goes for Branded Regained. Really strong card. Anytime a Lighter Dark's banished, you can put it to the bottom and draw a card. And then if your opponent summons a monster, normal or special, you can special summon back a Bystial monster from your graveyard.
Pretty good place to have the Magnet then. You can just get it back, keep the dragons flowing.
Indeed, and now it looks like he's going to banish that Wyvern Burster.
And now we see the Collapse Serpent.
So he's going to use that Branded Regain to put the Wyvern Burster onto the bottom and draw a card.
Yep, so now we need a randomization here. We haven't had one quite yet. No drawing effects have been played, only searching. So now we randomize, put it on the bottom, draw one card for Branded Regained.
Calculating, thinking. Now he's going to link away for link 1. Probably Guard Dragon Pitsty.
Yeah, the Striker Dragon is not back into the extra deck yet. So it is Guard Dragon Pisty. And then at this point, you get
Did
the
he
second
use-
zone to point to.
Did he add the Wyvern Burster back? It didn't look like it.
Went to the bottom of the deck, right?
Yeah, and then he linked away the Collapse Serpent. I don't think he added it afterwards, but maybe not. I might have missed him adding it. Now he's going to link away those two for Triple Burst.
So that gives you the 2 zones pointed to by Guard Dragon Pisty.
Allowing you to special summon a Banished Dragon or one from your graveyard.
And I missed what got the Tracer onto the field there.
I think... Yeah, I missed it as well. And now he's going to Synchro Summon.
That's a level 10. So 2 zones pointed to, special summon back to Serenir, use it with the Rocket Tracer. Make the Bystial Dispouter.
So the Dispatcher is going to be able to special summon a Banished Lighter Dark monster. Let's see what he decides to bring back. Maybe that's Starleech Seyfert to have some follow-up, and does look like he is going for Starleech Seyfert to the field.
And now, you can special summon Rocket Coder to place a Dark Link monster points to. You can special summon from your hand to use only Dark Link monster points to. Kinda similar to Noctivision Dragon, but a little different since you control the timing a little better.
I love Noctivision Dragon, though. So he's going to link into Seals.
And then Synchro Summon for Borreload Savage Dragon. And although it looked a little bit different, we got to the exact same place as usual.
No Borland Dragon, though. But he does have the Regained.
So you equip the monster onto it from your graveyard, the Link monster there, and then you get half of its attack points. And I believe the triple burst dragon is 2,400.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be a plus
12.
1,200 for 4,200 attack points total.
Pretty solid.
And then 3 Boral counters on it. You get counters equal to the Link rating of the Link monster that's equipped.
Next up, he is looking at his extra deck. Usually this is pretty much where they would end things, but
Might be checking to see, in the end phase, what dragon's going to get Magma.
that could be the case here. Checking his extra deck again.
And this is one of those things you got to watch out for. The constant going back and forth is textbook slow play, and you will get penalized for it. In fact, we were in the meeting where the players were explained, things not to do because they're considered slow play, and that was on it.
And nothing happened. It was back and forth with no play at the end result there. Interesting, but sometimes it's deemed okay, but most of the time you want to avoid doing things like that because you could be in a winning position and then you receive a penalty for
it could just be that they were waiting for him to make the next play before applying the penalty.
True.
Because that's generally what happens is you don't stop them in the middle of the play, because then they'll restart the thinking process and then they'll do it again. You don't want them.
That makes a lot of sense.
You don't want it to be your impetus as a judge that caused them to commit the same infraction again.
They're there to help, not hurt. Checking to see how many cards he has. He has 3 cards in hand. We know one is a Bystial.
So 3 cards.
I still don't know how that Tracer got onto the field.
Yeah, I didn't see Boot Sector
or a quick launch, right? I just looked at the graveyard. I've been trying to check the graveyard every time to see if there's a quick launch that I missed.
Was there like a regained effect?
I think your opponent has to summon. Yeah, I don't know. And it only summons back Bystials, yeah. I feel like he just used a Boot Sector but didn't play it. But I could be wrong. We might have missed something.
I'm going to read Romulus again. Did it come from Bystial Dispatter?
He brought back the Safer to Dispatter, yeah.
Safer can't special summon.
Neither here nor there, though. We are on to blue player's turn, and now he looks like he has 6 cards in hand. Considering his options, can't wait to see what deck he is going to be using. So the things he has to worry about right now: Bystial in hand, Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Seers, Borreload Savage, and Dispatter can destroy, not negate right now. Oh, he's going to activate Primeval Planet Parallel Rhino.
Oh, here it is. It's Romulus.
Oh, Romulus has the effect to summon.
It's Romulus. For Dragon Monster summoned from the extra deck to his own, the card points to. So Pisty being summoned triggered that effect to get the Tracer on the field.
Don't see that too
often.
often.
That one doesn't come up super often.
Okay. Makes sense. And now the planet is going to be able to add either a Tearlaments monster or my favorite thing to add with it, Visa Starfrost.
There's still a few things this could be. This could be Vanadium. If you're going to go ahead and get Visa Starfrost, it could be Tearlaments. You can get a Tearlament monster. Tearlaments is one of those decks that it is more restricted here than anywhere else in the world.
Especially with the combined list at the World Championship.
In fact, Perlareno is limited to 1. The tier monsters are all limited to 1, including Reinhardt. Kit Kalos is gone.
Does add the Sharon.
Earth Fairy monsters all at 1. And yet, Chaos Ruler is not legal. Like, one of the things that really helps this deck out in Japan is that Chaos Ruler is still legal, but it's not here.
Definitely has a lot going against it, but it's one of those decks like players have really gravitated towards and have been using for quite some time and finding ways to keep on using it despite all the limitations. So
but, Jeong is undefeated, so we will see how that happens.
And we're going to have Tearlaments Scream be activated.
Scream is going to make it through. Special summon Sharon. Thinking on response to Sharon. Multiple things you could do here.
I feel like you let this go because you wanted to be able to trigger your Branded Regained, maybe bring back the Magnamut.
Yeah, and you can always use your Bystial on something if it gets hit, like if they hit another tier name.
Very true, but milling or sending cards, 6 cards from the top of the deck to the graveyard is tough. That's a lot of cards being sent.
You could just take your chances, negate this, destroy it.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. So he's gonna just destroy the Sharon. So he'll so if he has the Bystial in hand, he destroys the Sharon, doesn't get to send the 3 for the Sharon, doesn't get to send the 3 for the Scream, and can banish the Sharon when he activates the effect. Not a bad choice here, using the Dispatter.
Yes, I like this. I like this a lot. So Bystial Dispatter, you can see right there. You shuffle the target back into the deck. If you shuffle into your deck, you destroy the monster. If you shuffle into your opponent's deck, you negate the activated effect. So he shuffled from his own banished cards into the deck to destroy Sharon, which will naturally stop the effect from happening because the monster that you're summoning from your hand doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, and he doesn't have another anything to fuse with, so he doesn't even activate the effect of Sharon here.
Now, Foolish Burial could get you there, get you anything you want. Send any monster from your deck to the graveyard.
Satanantana sitting in really good shape right now.
It's like a double limited card hand. That's pretty good. Foolish also limited. In fact, the Tearlament deck in general is just it's mostly limited cards.
Just one-ups all through the entire deck for the most part.
He's going to send Kelbeck.
The Ancient Vanguard.
Vanguard.
Love it.
And he's going to spin for 5 if it goes through. I think you might want to negate this.
Yeah, this might bring out the Borreload Savage Dragon effect. 5 is way too many. Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. You're going to remove a Boral counter to negate that activation. Next is Foolish Burial Goods,
which I believe might be semi-limited here.
So we got Foolish Burial Goods. It's going to send a spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard.
Soliac it is.
Soliac.
Soliac, when it's into the graveyard, lets you add any Tearlament monster from your deck to your hand. It's going to go for that copy of Tearlament's Rhino Heart,
which is also limited. It's kind of amazing how you can just make all of these one-offs work together.
Indeed, it's really cool. I'd love it if he has a Visa Starfrost or something like that in his deck as well. I'm just a big fan of that card.
I remember some of the older versions of Tearlaments played it.
Mm-hmm.
It got phased out pretty quickly.
The other cards are quite strong, and with Vicious Astrolabe
off into a different deck.
With Vicious Astrolabe, you have a little more synergy to be able to banish the heart, but with only one Rhino Heart, don't really want to banish it for Vicious Astrolabe. You'd rather shuffle it back in so you could make Kaleido.
All right, so we got normal summon Rhino Heart, Chainlink 1 Rhino Heart, Chainlink 2 Scream, Chainlink 3 Branded Regained.
So he's going to be able to bring back that Bystial Magnamut.
Chainlink 4
Sears
to put, well, it doesn't target, but once we resolve the chain, we're going to put the Scream back into hand. So Chainlink 4 resolves first. We put Scream back in hand. Magnamut is special summoned. Scream's effect does not exist anymore because it's a continuous spell card. The fact that it is no longer on the field means its effect no longer applies. And then we finish off with Rhino Heart, because there's normally special summoning to send any Tearlaments monster from your deck to the graveyard, except another copy of it, which I would be concerned if there was another copy of it because you're not allowed to play it.
Dragon Link, a scary matchup for Tearlaments, actually, because of the large Bystial package they play. Pretty much every Bystial monster they play, they probably have thrown into the deck, and being able to counter just those 1, 2, 3 monsters that can fusion summon, really, really big.
So Havness is the second of the 3.
Looks like he wants a translation for Pellerino to know when the effect to destroy will activate, and that's going to activate when a Tearlament monster is returned to the deck, if it ever happens. Maybe it's been a while since he's played against Pellerino.
We'll see if that Havness is going to happen at all. So when you send
it's
it
going to be a have-not.
Yeah, it's going to have not. Yeah, to place Fusion Heroes from your graveyard on the bottom of the deck in any order.
Yep, here comes Bystial Baldrake, and that's going to also provide another form of interruption as it hits the field.
And you have to use the Havness itself. You see it says including this card over there, because the Havness is gone. The rest of it will not work. Baldrake is special summoned. You gotta shuffle before putting anything on the bottom of the deck.
He gets to draw from the. Oh, he put it back with Branded Regained. Okay, I was like, he definitely banished with the Bystial. Put it back with Branded Regained, so he gets that draw. Tearlaments Kashtira. So he's going to be able to banish a Tearlaments card from the graveyard, do special summon it, and then send 3 cards from the top of the deck to the graveyard. Scream cannot activate.
Scream already activated this turn. It can only activate it once per turn. So despite the fact that its effect didn't happen, it was activated. So Tearlaments Kashtira hits the field by banishing a Tearlaments card.
Nothing.
And you can spend the top 3 cards to your graveyard. I see a King of a Swamp there. I don't know, maybe you've got like the Dark World fusion spell or something that could maybe make use of that.
Yeah, what I like in the TCG, and at least at the NAWCQ, what we saw with Tearlaments, they were using King of the Swamp to replace Blazing Cartasia to go into Granganol to send an App Cologne, so you get access to Shadal Schism and Winda. But that was in the NAWCQ. Unsure if that is something he is packing in his deck.
So we're going to battle phase. Tearlaments Kashtira. It's boosted up by 500 points, because it is a Tearlaments monster, so 2,800.
He's going to be able to attack over Baldrake for 300 points of damage.
And it's not looking super great, though. Not looking super great. It's just, you know, bringing Tearlament into a field where you anticipate a lot of Dragon Link,
tough.
Maybe seems difficult, because you know that deck is going to be main decking Bystials, as many as they can. It's still also 3-0, so we will see.
All right, it looks like he's going to end phase, so the Magma is going to add a copy of Bystial Saronir from the deck to the hand. Just double checking what he added there off the Magnum. It was in fact Bystial Saronir. Draws for a turn. Hand full of cards. Jeong sitting on just 1 card in hand. Really no forms of interaction. Like, he has the Tearlaments Scream on the field, which will be able to send the top 3 cards from the deck to the graveyard. Since as long as he controls the Tearlament monster, and he has 2 of them right now.
Yeah, now if they're all gone before any summons happen, then out of luck.
Very much so, and we already know that Satanantana has multiple Bystials in hand. I mean, at least 1. So that'll, even if he happens to hit one of the Tearlament names, it'll be able to be met with a Bystial almost right away.
It's a little tougher though if they hit like an Agido though, and
that's
then maybe they get multiples.
That's when things can get a little crazy.
I think the goal here is to just not trigger that stream if you can. Like, if you can just win without triggering it, and I think it's possible, given what we know he has in hand from the searches
and the
what's already on the field and the disc spotter. Like, it seems like this one can be wrapped up fairly quickly. He's Branded Regained here. Put a monster back on the bottom and draw a card.
Yep, he banished the Safer to add back the Bystial Lebellion, and then he gets to put that Safer back onto the bottom.
There it is. If a lighter dark monster is banished, accepting damage step, target one of them, place it on the bottom of the deck. If you do draw a card.
Such cool artwork.
I'm just going to go ahead and special summon Wyver Burster. Alright, so Wyver Burster is summoned, and Tearlaments Scream activates.
Just going to get negated here by the Borreload Savage Dragon.
Use the Borreload Savage Dragon here. So it will be sent to the graveyard by card effect.
Chaos Angel.
Trap.
Chaos Angel, there are no two. No, he could be linking away. I'm not going to be too excited just yet, but it was a light and a dark monster. It is a synchro summon for level 10 Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel, really cool synchro. You don't need a tuner monster. It can treat any light or dark monster as a tuner.
Now, to be clear, Borreload Savage just negates the activation. It did not destroy the card.
Which is beneficial here because you get to add a Tearlaments Trap otherwise.
Now the card is going away because Chaos Angel is banishing it.
Yep, and since he used a light and a dark monster, all his synchro monsters will be unaffected by monster effects, and the monsters he controls cannot be destroyed by battle.
Still use your own monster effects on them. This is monster effects activated by the opponent.
which is really important to keep in mind. Contemplating how to finish this game off. He is in commanding position. He still has the disc patter effect to special summon from the banished. Once again, this is one of those situations where you are your worst own enemy. If you take too long to come up with the most optimal play when you need to just end the game, it can backfire.
And he's already taken too long once in this match.
Yeah,
You don't want to do it twice in the same game, let alone the same match.
We took this long just to activate Bystial disc patter. Gonna summon back that rocket caliber. Like, it's okay to play careful, but you need to play quickly. Normal summon Starly Safer. Looks like a Link summon, maybe. Which you can't do.
Oh, it has first.
Well, dude, there's nowhere you can summon a Link monster too, right? Oh, it is a synchro.
Synchro for
Scarlet Red Dragon
Archfiend. Going to destroy everything that has everything is special summoned with fewer attack points.
Luckily, his Borload, Savage, Dispatter, and Chaos Angel are all stronger than the Scarlet. Scarlet, one of my favorite synchro monsters.
I love this monster.
It's so awesome. I hope some of you out there caught our live duel from the NAWCQ where we saw Jack Atlas taking on Gong Strong.
It's the winning monster in there with the absolute power force spell.
It was pretty cool. I mean, if I'm Jeong in this position, I would be considered just conceding. I don't think there's much of a winning position here.
There's not.
So you're just running the clock down for almost no reason.
And it's not like these are fast decks to play. I feel like you'd want to save time here. However, it's also the case that there's not a lot of concessions over in Japan or the other Asian territories as well.
True.
In fact, it's just not allowed in some tournaments.
And not the case over for us in the TCG.
No.
We encourage it, in fact.
In this tournament, you are allowed to call a judge and be like, hey, I need to concede. Just look at the board and see why.
Like, is this shuffling necessary? Like, when you're already in this position, like, taking the time to adequately randomize your deck when you probably won't be drawing another card the remainder of this duel, but we'll see.
And now we go to battle.
He has so much damage on the field. I think like 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 5, 15, 5.
It's 5 digits. And you only start with 4.
But let's go and take the time to do the math and make sure we're okay here. Oh, is he telling the judge he wants to concede now?
Now
okay.
He's going to concede, okay.
Well, that's game 1. Putting on a Dragon Link. Now, we get to see what Tearlaments gets to do when they go first. Ooh.
So Jeong gets to go first.
All right. Let's see what he decides to start with here. Look at him go. We're going to go main phase?
I mean, any game where you open your one of Perlarino's got to be better than one where you don't.
Definitely. Look, it's kind of funny to see the rare Pellarino.
Satanantana is thinking about this. Not many Tearlament monsters allowed in the deck, and he uses the Ash Blossom here, betting on Jeong not having any of them.
But unfortunately, he has Medora, discard Agido.
Limited Medora, discard limited Agido. That's incredible.
It's gonna be.
Oh my goodness! No way!
It's 2 names.
Double tier monster Herald. Oh, that triple tactics talent is interesting.
If he had one, he'd be able to use it right now. I love triple tactics talent in decks that where you know your opponent's going to have cards from the hand to activate, that you'll be able to use it when you're going first.
My goodness.
Yeah, depending on what Jeong has in his hand, this could be pretty advantageous. He might just trigger Havness here. You want to save Merrily just in case you go into something like a Sprite Sprint later on to be able to send down Tearlaments Merrily to be able to fuse. So you might just go Havness here, but did you say no effects? Oh, no effects, I guess.
No effects. Activate Foolish Burial Goods.
Interesting. I guess there is no Tearlaments Kictalis to go into with those 2 monsters, but
he's sending the last one. There's Sharon getting them all out of the deck.
So he looks like he may be just looking to go for a rank 4 play. Maybe Baguska pass.
So Celiac adds Sharon. Sharon, special summon.
Discards Helshadal.
Hits Kelbeck and Guido. Crime.
So he's going to have both of the shufflers online, Keldo and Mudora. Hits both of the millers, Kelbeck and Agido.
If your whole deck is one-ofs, I guess I can't be that surprised when you sit here hitting one-offs over and over and over again.
Ooh, Thrust in the deck. Interesting, he has Thrust in the deck going first in game 2. Well, I guess that means he probably included some sort of trap card he would want to set. That would be advantageous.
Set rotation.
Yeah, sets rotation, lots of field spells in the deck, pretty cool. And he's also going to hit the Beast.
Shadow Beast.
Yep, so he'll get a draw as well.
Is that Kashtira Unicorn? The one of Kashtira
he plays,
Unicorn.
He plays the Pressure Planet Wraithoth. Why not throw it in there? I think
that's got to be the other field spell then, right?
Mm-hmm. So that kind of alludes that he might play some Kashtira spell cards, like maybe Kashtira Birth.
I wanna see this deck now. This is wild.
So I think Meta Noise, when it's sent, lets you add back a Tearlament monster from your graveyard to your hand.
It certainly does.
Draws 1 from Shadal Beast, adds back the Tearlament's Mereleaf to the hand. He still has the normal summon, right?
He is not normal summon.
So he has
a special.
Okay. I think I might have saw what he drew, but we'll have to see if it is, in fact.
You got a rank 4.
Not Baguska. It's going to be Time Thief
Redoer.
I know you're a big Time Thief fan.
I play Time Thieves in any Xyz festival I can in Master Duel. Time Thief Redoer, really interesting here because it's an effect to detach. So he's activating Time Thief Redoer's effect, detaches a monster at resolution, which you can then trigger the Sharon.
Pretty cool. And it's going to come back, too. And there's definitely trap cards in the Dragon Link deck that you might be able to hit with the Redoer off the top of the deck to make it a form of disruption as well.
And we're sending Reinhardt, Sharon, and Hapness. All of those go back, and that'll make Kaleidoheart. Tearlaments, Kaleidoheart.
Kaleidoheart, a really strong card. On summon, or if an Aqua monster is sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle a card in your opponent's field back into the deck once per turn. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it back and then send any Aqua from your deck to the graveyard. So it provides disruption and can lead you to more synchro summons, or sorry, fusion summons.
So we saw all 4 of the Earth Fairies. They're all in the graveyard now.
It's okay if they're limited.
And both 5s.
Maybe this is why he's undefeated with Tearlaments. The limitations don't make a difference. He opened up Parallel Rhino both the games as well.
And it looks like Satanantana is just...
Is he calling it?
It looks like he's calling it because I mean I might too after I watch that. That's a lot.
I think the shufflers are gonna give him a tough time there. Maybe his hand not too strong, and realizing, because you can get that point where your opponent's turn, you can look at your hand and be like, is there any card in my deck I can draw that's gonna help me get back?
Here we go. And Satanantana will be going first here in duel number 3.
And he's taking a second to consider the options. Normal summon the Black Metal Dragon.
There we go. That's a good one.
Best starts you can have.
Sends it to the graveyard immediately. To link summon the Striker Dragon. Go Chain Link 1 Black Metal Dragon, Chain Link 2 Striker Dragon. Do not draw the Boot Sector this time. He gets full value out of this.
I never noticed. Is that Striker Dragon's arm? Does he have are his arms really tiny? Is that? I can't tell. If he has arms. The little metal pipe is such a cool looking card.
You get the Boot Sector and Red Eyes Darkest Metal Dragon.
Activates Branded,
regained in hand. Banishes special summon Red Eyes Darkest Metal Dragon from hand, and you can tell that they know that they're close to time and don't want to draw. They are speeding up their pace of play significantly from the way it was the rest of the match. Goes with the Red Eyes Darkest Metal Dragon effect, special summon Starleech Safer from hand.
I feel like I've seen this before. Now.
Got about 4 minutes left in the round. Activate Starlight Safer. Now, this is a dangerous situation to be in too. A lot of these Dragon Link combos take a long time. And if it takes the rest of the round and then they have Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend to inflict damage, Jeong might not even get a turn.
It could be disastrous. Then it just really goes back to that game one, taking so long to concede that game one.
Time.
So he did put that Striker Dragon back. So he's going to be able to summon it, no effect for the Striker Dragon since he already used it. And the Wyvern Burst is going to add Collapse Serpent.
Doing a lot of randomization here too. I guess we need to for Branded Regain, right? If we're going to put something back and draw a card, we got to randomize now.
He offered it to shuffle a few times, yep. Banishes the Wyvern Burster, comes down the Collapse Serpent somewhere. Pick a zone, any zone. Oh, Noctovision! I love Noctovision Dragon.
Yeah, any zone except the one you need to special summon Noctovision Dragon to.
Noctovision's an awesome card. You special summon when you special summon the dragon, and you're going when you link summon the dragon, you're gonna be able to draw a card when it's used for a link summon.
And I'm gonna use it right now. Using the Noctovision Dragon effect. Just gonna draw one card.
Noctovision, one of my favorite cards in Dragon Link.
Yeah, I like Noctovision Dragon a lot. Sometimes I'd even play one of those in Dragon Maid. Since it's a high-level dragon. And you can also special summon it out when you use some of the Link monsters as well.
Ah, cool. Yeah, anytime you get that Dark Dragon on the field, you'll be able to summon it. I do like Dragon Maid a lot. Chamber Dragon Maid, definitely a card that's made a few appearances in the Dragon Link strategy even.
Yeah, like there's a lot of cross-cultural stuff between those two particular decks.
Tidying is so strong, yeah. Running some options again, thinking about his plays, calculating with the finger. Down to 2 minutes.
He was playing really quickly before and seems to have slowed down significantly now. This could be either sort of math at this point.
Doing it a few times. I think he's pointed his finger at least 4 or 5 times. Checking his banish, checking the graveyard.
That's the thing though, like if he got that slow play penalty at the start and he gets one now, he could just lose because of that, get a game loss.
Activates Dragon Ravine, discards the Starlight Safer from the hand. Goes through the deck a couple times looking for the card that was on the front of his deck.
We got 1 minute left in the round. 1 minute. And the pace of play has not picked up at all.
Still looking through the deck.
He's doing the pointing again. We're on the pointing now. Get Rocket Tracer.
Shocker. So surprised that that's what you ended up grabbing with the
Rocket Tracer.
That's a router.
Well, he get Rocket Caliber in the other games.
That's true.
It is kind of a shocker.
True.
It's a little different. But he needs a tuner this time.
Boot Sector launch is going to special summon Tracer. He's got to think before he summons the Scarlet. He might be going into something different. Hopefully it's not the Scarlet here. Looks through the entire extra deck.
No, it's a Scarlet.
Yeah, but it was also on the front of his extra deck as he checked through everything.
Yeah, it's the Scarlet. He's going to use it here and deal 1,000 damage to Jeong. And it looks like they just called time as he summoned Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend.
Color him shocked that it's time.
And it appears that Jeong is complaining that his opponent took far too long and is repeatedly stopping to do the same math over and over again.
As he did, yes.
And the thing is, if you don't call the judge when it's happening, they can't make it stop. So at the end of this phase, that's the end of the main phase, the duel will end, and because Satanantana has higher life points, he'll be the winner of game number 3 and win the match with a 2-1 score.
Yep, and